This morning's soap is brought to us by Stubble Buster. Right up here you can see the scent profile. It's got Tangerine, Sequoia, and Sage. And 4 ounces in the tub there, plastic tub. It's fairly firm in the container, but it's also somewhat on the soft side, I guess you might say. Not necessarily a croak, but it's very creamy. It very easy to scoop out, put some in a bowl. And excuse me, I do have it whipped up. If you're bowl lathering, you may want to start with just a damp brush and then work your way up with the water. It's doesn't take water real well, at least not my water. I've got it whipped up here in a bowl on the wet side. That's about the consistency. It's a little wet, kind of drippy, but not real bad. You can kind of tell there. Oh, and by the way, Frank shaving brush here, Badger. That's about how I like it. That's pretty close to perfect, especially if I'm shaving with a shavette or straight razor, which I need to do one of those here pretty soon. Get the Yulay Preshave oil here. Just put 1 squirt. Worked it into my skin this morning after I used the hot towel to the face. Got the Allen Block no rubber band this morning. Thinking the Flash. Stirling mentholated witch hazel. This one here is black ice flavored. And we'll be following up with the shave with the matching aftershave. This combination between these two, the soap and the aftershave, if you buy them in a bundle, going price is $17.48 plus shipping. And I think now, around the holiday, it was $20 and you get free shipping. And this one here, I think it's $35 and you get free shipping. I'll put a link down below for the website. Make it a little bit easier. You don't have to hunt around for it too much. Not that it's hard to find. It's an inexpensive setup. This will be my first time shaving with the soap, so we'll see how this works out for me. Shaver of the day is, I meant to bring it in here and I forgot. Mention it here in a moment. Shaver of the day is the Micromatic Flying Wing, or bullet tip, with a gem Teflon coated PTFE. You know, if you're interested in those letters, it's Teflon coated. I got mine through Ted Pelham. Bought it in a 100 pack, in other words. Actually, it's 100 tub container. I got 200. Want to make sure I wasn't going to have any problems anytime soon with blades. Every once in a while, it seems like they're for me for a while. Finding them was kind of difficult. Even treat supers from time to time at a reasonable price was difficult for me to find. Here it is. Here's the Micromatic Flying Wing. Of the 3, I would consider this one here as being the mildest. Thursday and Friday I shaved with the open comb and smooth, comfortable shaves. I really enjoy the Micromatics. They're a lot of fun. This one here seems to be a little bit more weighty than the other 2. And this one came out near 1947 or 48, if I remember right. I mentioned that I ordered a book. It came in yesterday. Fridays are usually pretty busy for me. Usually by the time I get home it's kind of late in the evening. And so I didn't get a whole lot of time to look inside of it. But Safety Razor Compendium book, something like that. Can't remember exactly what the name of it is. But it's what I refer to as the encyclopedia for safety razors. As it goes for the, you should say, more on the vintage side. Handy book that was reading up on what information I offered up on the Flying Wing. And of course, you know, it's nice to have the advertisements that he, you know, included in there, the slogan, you know, the words that went with the shaver or whatever the case might be. This is a pretty smooth shaver. I really enjoy shaving with the Flying Wing. It's what I would almost compare to like an easygoing shaving with a DE. That's my experience with it, at least. The idea with this one here is it has what is referred to as the guiding eye. There's a dot in the cap right there, and the idea was that you keep this portion of the cap on your face, flat up against your face. That's the way it was designed for you to shave with. Now if you want a little bit more aggressive feel, you just change your angle, bring it up. It is a lot of fun to shave with. Like I said, it's so close to like shaving with a DE. I guess you might say it might be a good one to learn on, because it's really not aggressive in my opinion. Very smooth shaving. Excuse me. Been using Preshave. Got that Preshave from Yulay in a kit, and or a gift set, if you will. And using the comparison in between shaving with using the Preshave oil versus a Preshave soap. And so today I'll use the Preshave oil. Tomorrow I'll use the soap. That way I can kind of go quickly behind each shave and kind of compare. I know the previous two shaves, it seems, and it's hard to tell for sure because, you know, you're dealing with soap, and some soaps, you know, will have a better post-shave feel than others. And even though the past, you know, I change soaps every shave, but the past two shaves with the Preshave oil, my post-shave feel has been pretty good. And so I was kind of wondering if that had anything to do with using the Preshave oil versus the Preshave soap. Like I said, I got that in it comes, when I got mine, it was in a gift set. In other words, if you look at Yulay's website, she's got a place where you can get a gift set for $19.99 and get soap, aftershave balm, and you can choose in between a Preshave oil or starter shaving brush. And I went with the Preshave oil. Nice little kit. To me, it's a good value. At $20 to get started, that's darn good. Good place to start. As it goes for the scent, I pick up the sage off of the soap. I really don't pick up the tangerine, at least not my nose this morning. Maybe on a different morning. I think it's just my nose. Sometimes it's more prone to pick up certain scents than others. Because I'm kind of thinking maybe the tangerine was to take a little bit of the edge off of a sage. If you smell sage, it's I don't know if you want to call it a stout odor, but it's definitely easy to pick up. It could overwhelm other scents if you, depends on how you mix it, in other words. It's not necessarily in your face, but it is a very constant, at least my experience with sage, that it's there. It's noticeable. And an update on Tony, our new German Shepherd puppy, small horse. He's, of course, he's still learning. Limits, boundaries, that sort of thing. He's so funny. He still thinks he's a tiny puppy. And so he has a tendency to want to, you know, get in your face, you know, like he's the little one. And anyway, the kids were, you know, talking about boundaries, personal space. Well, if the door opens, he thinks that means he needs to go out the door, which is not bad when you're trying to teach him to go outside to go potty. But when you're trying to go out to go do grocery shopping, or the kids are trying to get out to go to school, it could be a bit troublesome, because not that he's pretty trim, but he's pretty strong. And I know the last time my daughter had tried to convince him to do something differently physically, she was no match. She doesn't weigh enough. So earlier this week, the kids were getting ready to go out the door to go to school. Sister and brother's trying to negotiate how this was going to happen. Brother was impatient, wasn't willing to work with sister. Anyhow, he got out right when they were going to school. So they had to go to school, nobody here to retrieve the dog. Well, come to find out, a few houses down, neighbor, he doesn't know strangers. As far as he's concerned, everybody's his friend. So she was outside, she's trying to get in the car, and he decided he was going to get in there with her. Yeah, he doesn't, there's not anybody he doesn't know, it seems like. Anyway, there is a app for neighborhoods. And anyhow, when we first moved here, we went ahead and signed up for the app and found out that that's where he was at, and found out the story behind the lady, poor lady, finding him. Now, he's really friendly. It's just he's a horse of a dog. He just wants to be everybody's friend. But it's not a bad thing. You know how large dogs get a kind of a rap sometimes for being bad and, you know, attacking people and whatnot. And this one here, if he attacks you with slobbers and whatnot, he's aggressive in that manner, being friendly. A little bit of feedback on the against screen pass. This sub does have a certain amount of creaminess to it, especially, you know, even in the tub when you put your finger in it, it does have that kind of feel to it. Now, if I got this understood right, when it comes to scent strength, the idea behind their soaps, if I got this figured right, is that they're not trying to mix it in such a way that a person would get irritation from the soap. In other words, it's lightly scented. In other words, medium to light. And so if you're not liking lightly scented soaps, then probably not for you. For me, I have my days that I want, you know, that, you know, soap that's scented, and you can definitely tell you're whipping it up, fills the bathroom with the scent. I'm okay with, you know, with light scented from time to time. It doesn't bother me. I'm more interested in the performance of the soap, and especially with my nose not working most of the time like it should. I'm kind of thinking that, you know, scent sometimes, you know, for me, it's just not quite as important as opposed to performance of the soap. Even though, yeah, I know for a number of folks, and even myself from time to time, that scent does add to the experience of the shave. But that's provided my nose is working. And this morning, boy, it was a struggle this morning trying to breathe. Took me a few moments to get it to where I could actually breathe through my nose this morning. Weather's been kind of odd again. Of course, you know, it's Oklahoma, so it's going to be that way. But the temperature, in other words, we were up in the 50s, and then the other day, what was it? It was late in the afternoon, in my opinion, before I got above freezing. We had snow flurries. It looked like, you know, if it would have continued, we'd have had a good snow. But of course, it only snowed just for a short period of time. Just got a dusting, you know, kind of disappointing to everybody that would like to have a good snow. Well, we haven't had one yet. Got just a little bit of stinging right there. Sometimes I think it's just a normal thing. Skin-wise, it's not exactly smooth. You know how you get a bump from time to time, and I think that's, in other words, you got a small one trying to come up, and that's where I get my stinging at. Because otherwise, you know, I've got a great smooth shave. Man, it's awesome. This is, I'm really, for me, if you haven't seen one of my earlier videos with a Jim Micromatic, let's see if I can do this slow enough. If you watch it when you're doing your twist to open right there, how that cap moves forwards and backwards, that just, for me, that's just awesome. Engineering, in other words, back then, this is incredible. There's the blade in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a gem blade. I guess you might say it's my go-to blade. Tree supers are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just I got a bunch of I got a bunch of gems to work through. Get with the witch hazel. I should make a mention of how I do my routine, especially when it comes to the alum block and the witch hazel. Early on, when I first started using witch hazel, and then I was using alum, I tried to just one and not both of them. I can do just witch hazel and be just fine with it, but I feel like the alum adds to the healing of my face when I've got little nicks here and there. I try to use just alum and not the witch hazel, and for me it seems like my face would just get too dry. The experience wasn't quite as nice as if I used the two of them together. So that's the reason why I use both of them. Even though a lot of your witch hazels, when you buy them from an artisan, will have some alum in it, as well as even in the aftershave in some cases. But for me, using both of them just works better. My post-shave, when I'm done and over with, it just feels better. My preference. And how I, quote-unquote, don't rinse it off. There's not, my face is not really, you know, it's not soaking wet when I use my alum, and so it's I don't feel like it's that much on there. If you feel the need to rinse it off, in other words, with a cold water rinse or whatever the case might be, I understand. You know, it's just for me. This is just how it works for me. Works just fine. Face feels good right now. The menthol's working. I can feel it doing its thing. That would be probably. It's not a knock against the pre-shave oil versus the pre-shave soap. Is that the menthol in the pre-shave soap is something I do enjoy. It's good to have a change of pace from time to time, so the pre-shave oil doesn't have menthol in it, but that cooling effect on the face it just feels awesome. Now, per my nose, when I smell the soap, let's try this. I know it's off the puck. I can smell a little bit of the tangerine now coming off of the brush, you know, when it's whipped up. But it seemed like coming off the soap and smelling out of the container for your aftershave, the scents were different in my opinion, but it might be because when you mix these together, like this one here, when I whip it up, the shaving cream, the scent coming off of the soap versus off of the whipped up lather there is slightly different. Like I say, I pick up more of the tangerine than what I could off the puck. And on the cool down, excuse me, on the dry down, cool down, it's still got that menthol doing its thing. It comes closer to matching the two. So in other words, if you get two of them and your soap smells a tad bit different than your aftershave, excuse me, it might be that after you whip up your lather and the dry down of the aftershave will come together and gives you my say come closer smelling, and like I say, it's just not a heavy scent. It's present, but it's not a heavy scent at all. Like I say, it's designed for folks that's got sensitive skin and trying to meet the masses. I can understand that, because some folks, you know, a heavy scent doesn't work well for them. It irritates the skin. For me, I don't have quite that issue. There's not a whole lot that irritates my nose when it doesn't work. I had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.